Hey, how's it going, Brian? I was uh I was calling you back. Oh, this is John. I'd sent the email. We were talking about that land, leasing it in Juneau, uh, the C1, C2. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, so I was wondering. I didn't hear back from you. I was kind of curious about like I was just looking on your website, and I know you mentioned too on the phone the $500 application fee. Uh, I was just wondering. I didn't hear back from you. I mean, like, what kind of, because we have some other good spots. I was like, I didn't want to let this one go totally, but is it? Do you guys have a, if we did do the $500 application fee, what's your timeline for a response? And how you're talking about 5,000 a month. I mean, are you guys just asking for 15,000 right away? I mean, how does that work? How do you structure that? Those are the kind of questions I was trying to get at. A performance bond of some sort. So what's your if we did the application, what's your timeline for a response? Within a month. Yeah, that's how we're looking. Yeah, I was looking at a loan through the bank for a different place. Yeah, it's probably similar timeline, about a month. Uh, Interesting. Yeah, see, we've got a good location also over by Eagle Crest, and so we've got some other good spots. It's just we have to figure out busing people. But honestly, where you're at there, it looks really good, but it's still a little bit of a long walk for some of the elderly people. That's why I was like, you almost need to figure out a way to bus them over there. I don't know. I was just being kind of hard on that location. Uh, I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of money. You guys are, there's private land that's a lot cheaper. I mean, I don't know if you have a bunch of other bidders or people interested in that, but I mean, if you're asking for 15,000 up front and then the $500 application fee, not going to be a month. I mean, how much money are we losing in that month? Forget about how much you're asking for. You know what I mean? Those are just kind of the questions I'm kind of looking at hard at. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? I mean, if I can find, if I got like the Eagle Crest has got tons of space, and there's a couple other spots that they're looking at trying to deal with us, and they're not asking anywhere near those kind of numbers. So, I mean, granted, that is downtown or something. I mean, if someone wanted to start a hotel or some condos, that would be a pretty good deal, I think. But for us, we're not really. That's a lot. Okay, cool. All right, thanks. And the hard thing is, you know, there's a reason why they don't have anything on that spot right now, and that's the reason. You know what I mean? They want a $10,000 performance bond, and they want $15,000 up front, and they want to wait a month. You know, that's not how you really do. That's not really how you're going to be doing business the best. Is the hard truth. And I just think we don't need to go down the path of working with someone who doesn't want to call us back when we send an email. And you know, I have lots of other cool things I can be doing versus trying to deal with an inefficient process uh, on people who can't return phone calls and emails. You know what I mean? So, hard truth. We're just gonna have to move on. And it's like, additionally, the hard truth is like right from the beginning, I was looking at potentially doing this like up by Denali Park. That was the thing last year when I was up here trying to work with a bed and breakfast or someone who has some space up there and putting together something up there. Now, uh, there's no one would be asking for that kind of a money or that kind of a deal up there. So yeah, you're contrasting that here to Anchorage and everything else. Now, if you try to put something on the uh, up in the Forest Service land or something, and you start working with helicopter companies, there's tons of money. It's way more than that, what they're asking there. So, you have to look at both sides of the spectrum where that sort of a land deal would fall. But for me, uh, I'm positioned like I'm as an artist and as an entrepreneur, and I don't have a lot of expenses. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not paying 10 different bills every day. So for me to like just walk into a deal with a for land like that, uh, and we're talking about not being able to open the doors for a month, that's just too much revenue lost with my vision and my idea. It's not a 3 month deal anymore. If we're not opening it for a month, it's a 2 month deal. So, uh, you know, it's not 15,000, it's 10,000 and $10,000 bond. Well, does it become a $5,000 bond? There's just not enough. There's not enough clarity for it for me, and so really for me, I'm like, maybe I should really just pursue the angle of trying to develop hot springs. Some sort of artificial hot spring soap pools like the Manamin's Oregon, here somewhere in southeast Alaska. I could try to go back up towards Denali Park and try to put together the lumberjack slash show obstacle course thing. I wonder if that's really what I want to be doing. I think if I partnered with someone up there, it would go together well. I worry personally, like I kind of like it down here as long as it's raining. You know what I mean? Like I don't like too much sun exposure. I want to kind of do more of my own training and stuff to try to develop a venue for, kind of like I was saying the other day, to de-emphasize the lumberjack show, the ninja warrior, and all that stuff, and focus more on the arts and on the music and stuff. Finding a location for that sort of entertainment type show, uh, which additionally minimizes potential liability. Uh, is there some space we could lease downtown, closer to where the cruise ships are docking, if not right where they dock, to do some sort of a music type art free? I don't know. I'm just kind of throwing it out there, and potentially get some revenue like Marine Park or something even in Juneau. So maybe we need to go those angles. I don't know. I do want to not give up on making a shit ton of money here, but I also, if you have to spend tons of money to try to make money, there's too much potential to not make money in my mind. Of course, you have to put things in to get it out. You buy a hotel, and then you can make tons of money off of renting the rooms and stuff. But for me, uh, a lot of the beauty when I was younger in Southeast Alaska was not spending time on the phone. It was more just like doing a lot of training, physical training, a lot of running, a lot of working out, going out to the bars and drinking, and so I I do want to get something going here, but if it's not a good deal, and like the type of stuff we're trying to do there, they almost should just give us, they should almost just cut us a deal or something. I honestly believe like, uh, and do something structured differently, because for me to to put up that kind of money, and I could do it. Like I know people, I could do it. You know what I mean? But for me, does it make uh just I'm being hard. Like just this morning, like go to the gym and go to do the Christian Guzman workout. Like that YouTuber, he's making way more money than the guys who run tour businesses in Southeast Alaska. Just go work on your art, keep making good music. You're making way more money than the people who are, you're going to be making way more money than the people who are running the tour business in Southeast Alaska. You know what I mean? Having a little bit of structure and something to go back to is cool too, but, you just got to be hard and realistic.